So in order for you to understand what flight school is like, I need to teach you how to fly a helicopter. So right now you're going to need both hands and both feet available, and set it, whatever you have down, if you're able. All right. So flying a helicopter is not quite like anything else. With your right hand, you're on what's called the cyclic. The cyclic is a stick. It goes down to the floorboard, up into the rotor system, and it controls the pitch of the rotor blades. So right now I want you to take your right hand and stick it straight out in front of you. That's where the cyclic, do not hit the person in front of you. So you're gonna take it straight out. This is where your cyclic would be in the helicopter. So with your cyclic, it controls which direction you go. So if you wanna go forward, I want you to push and lean forward. Go ahead. There you go. Now you're going faster. Now we're gonna take it, and as a room, we're all gonna go the same direction. We're gonna go to the left. That would be your right. We're all gonna go this way. Let's just all go this way. We'll go the same way. All right, there we go. There you go, you're flying now. Now, if we wanted to go the other way, we're gonna go. Excellent, you're still flying. And if you wanted to go back, whoa, 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 you have a tail back there. If you pull that too far back and hit your tail, that's bad. Don't do that. Now, who said you could put your arm down? You're flying the helicopter. I said earlier, there's no autopilot. All right, so with your arm still there, you're still on the slide, you're on the controls. Your right hand's on that. Now with your left hand, I want you to imagine your left hand, the elbow is pinned to the floorboard. All you can move is the front part of your hand. It's a lever off the floorboard. The higher you pull it, the more fuel it puts in your engine. So the higher you pull it, the more airspeed you get. The higher you pull it, the more altitude you get. And if you pull it really high, you get both airspeed and altitude at the same time. So go ahead and pull some power. Yeah, that feels good, doesn't it? Yeah, but here's what happens in the helicopter. We're flying straight like this, and when you pull power, it puts power to your tail rotor in the back. So even though we're flying straight, as I pull power, the tail does this. I'm flying straight. My tail's off to the side. Is this aerodynamic? Oh, sorry. Is this aerodynamic? No. So with your feet, independently of each other, you're going to push on the foot pedals, which controls the pitch of the tail rotor blade to get your tail behind you, where it belongs. So go ahead and push on your foot pedals. Yep, all at the same time. But wait, there's more. Because while you're doing all of that, yes, you're still flying. While you're doing all that, you're monitoring a center console of avionic and navigation equipment to tell you who to talk to and where to go. And while you're monitoring that, you have 4 feet of instrument panel you're scanning to make sure you stay in your system limits. Because even though we are in the air, there are speed limits. There's just no signs. You have to have every single limit on every single gauge memorized. And while you're monitoring all that, you have your windows. You're scanning through your front windshield. You've got a door window right here. You have what's called a chin bubble window down here at your feet. In fact, right now, I'd like you to look down at your toes through the table if you need to. Because when you lose your engine, that's where you're gonna go. There's no glide in a helicopter. You're going straight down. So it's really important that you don't hit a tree or a power line or another aircraft. Those are bad, not very safe. It was what we call obstacle avoidance. Yeah, all at the same time. But wait, because you also have a helmet on, and with a helmet, a microphone, and you're talking internally to your crew and externally to air traffic control. I mean, there's no such thing as a quiet pilot, all at the same time. And if you are sitting there thinking, what does that have to do with me? Remember, I can see you. Well, every time you're at work, you are in that pilot seat, aren't you? Oh, you can put your arms down. Some of you look tired. I told you it would be your workout, Dan. Yeah. Every time you're at work, you are in the pilot seat. And is there autopilot? No, you're on the controls. But not just that, it's the multitasking we have to do nowadays, isn't it? The email is dinging, the phone is ringing. Emergencies and urgencies occur all the time. You gotta maintain your temperatures, right? You got to make sure you don't have a leak that could affect their breathing and their health and their safety. You don't want to lose a product. You're multitasking all the time. There's no autopilot, is there? Is there? No. So flying a helicopter, well, you know what? Maybe it is like something else. Do we have any? Maybe. Maybe. Okay, I got it. Do we have any roller coaster fans in the house? Let me see the roller coaster fans. Let me see you. Let me see you. Yep. Okay, keep them up. Nope. I want to see. Oh, yep. I believe one of you. You, sir, in the blue shirt are the only one that has 2 arms up. There is no self-respecting roller coaster fan that does 1 arm. Let me see the roller coaster fans. Let me see you. You know it's true, right? I want you to imagine you're in the front car of a roller coaster. You know when you're in the front car of a roller coaster, there's no you've got the front car, you see everything that's coming, right? Oh, I love the front car. I want you to imagine you're in the front car of a roller coaster and there's no track. You get to decide where it goes. How high, how low, how fast, or how slow. To the right or to the left, which way it should go. That is what flying a helicopter is like. But flying a helicopter, the first maneuver you must learn is how to hover. Hovering is when you're 8 to 10 feet, that would be 2 to 3 meters, off the ground, right? 8 to 12 feet, you're off the ground, and the wind whips off the rotor system. It comes down and hits the ground. It comes up underneath the helicopter, and it buffets the helicopter, and it makes it aerodynamically unstable. I mean, it's so aerodynamically unstable, it's like the bumblebee that shouldn't fly but doesn't know any better, and it flies off anyway. Hovering is first. Hovering is last. Hovering's required for takeoffs. Hovering's required for landings. And hovering requires a very soft touch on the controls. A soft touch is best. But what happens to that soft touch when you've drawn the flight instructor who is screaming at you? You're stupid. You don't deserve to be here. You are wasting my time. What makes you think you can do this? And my least favorite of them all, he would say to me, a monkey can fly better than you. Every day. Every day. And that soft touch I needed to hover, do you think it stayed soft? No. And I'd go too far to the right and back too far to the left and back too far to the right and back too far to the left, and we would start doing what's called a pendulum maneuver. Yeah, that's a prohibited maneuver. Yeah, don't do that one. And he would take the controls away from me and he would yell at me again. Well, the first week it wasn't so bad. The guys couldn't hover either, it really was hard. The second week, no problem, not the only one. Third week, I'm the only one. Fourth week, halfway point, I'm failing. Only girl in the class. The beginning of the fifth week, I go to the commander's office. Sir, I'd like an instructor change. Denied. But sir, could we? No. But sir, what if we? No. Go back to class. Yes, sir. And as I got to the door, I turned back to the commander, and I said, sir, with all due respect, I will not quit. You cannot make me quit. I'm going to show up, and I'm going to bring the best of my abilities every single day. Because when, not if, when things get hard. And they get hard, don't they? It's a when, isn't it? We all have our days where things don't seem to go our way. We have those days where our personal life intrudes. We have those days where our health, we just don't feel at our best. But when you have those days, show up and bring your best. Because that's what we can control. That's all that can be asked of you, is that you bring the best in those difficult times. And that's what defines you, is how you show up in adversity, how you show up when things are hard. So I showed up, still failed. This 7th week. There's not only this week, next week is final exam. It is the check ride I must pass to move on. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I showed up. Maybe you've seen this, though. Have you ever felt like this or seen this before? And I walked in that Monday morning of the 7th week, and I looked up. He wasn't there. Yes. It was a substitute instructor. Yes. I'm thinking I got a shot. I have a chance, and I can do this. But as I walk up to the table, he's looking at all those grade sheets. Anyone here in HR? Good first impression? 6 full weeks of failing grades. Yeah. As I walk up to the table, he goes, "What's the deal?" What could I possibly say? What could I possibly say that would not sound like I was making an excuse? What could I possibly say that wouldn't sound like I was blaming someone else? What could I say that would take responsibility for that? And I have to tell you, I had nothing. You ever have nothing? 3 of you. Yeah. And then it came to me, what to say in a difficult situation. And this is one you're going to want to write down. So go ahead and grab out your phone if you want to take notes. I take notes on my phone. If you want to take notes on your phone, if you have a piece of paper, you're going to want this. You're going to want this. So go ahead, I'll wait for you. So write down what to say in a difficult situation, and I'm going to give it to you. Go ahead. What to say in a difficult situation. All right, one more time. What to say in a difficult situation. Ready? He had asked me, what's the deal? And here is what I said. I'm trying really hard. And then he yells at me. And then he tells me a monkey can fly better than me. And I really want to see that monkey fly. Did I mention crying in uniform in the military is really bad? I mean, it's really bad. Plus, gentlemen, my many good men here in this room, you know you've done this. He responded like this. Please stop, please stop, please stop, please stop. You know you have, yeah. Please stop. And I had to stop. And I had to draw it off. And then he says to me the 4 words I will never forget in my entire life. These are the 4 words I want you to write down. They're the 4 words of what to say to yourself when things get hard. They're the 4 words to help you stay connected, committed, and passionate to why you do what you do and the difference you make. You make a difference for your industry. You make a difference at your organization. You make a difference to your family. Stay connected to that, and it will drive you through those difficult times. And those 4 words are, do you want this? Ask yourself whenever it gets hard, do I want this? Stay connected to that. Feel that. And my response to him was, yes, please. He says, great, let's teach you. And he did. Have you ever been so close to something where you make one little tweak, one little shift, one little change, and everything falls into place? Has that ever happened to you? Yeah. He taught me how to hover in one day. One day. Would you like to learn how to hover today? Say yes. Yes. Raise your right hand up. Now raise it up higher. The person next to you won't know your deodorant's worn off. Oh wait, that's just me. All right, raise it up higher, bring your arm down, elbow against your ribcage with your elbow braced against your ribcage, pivot your hand forward with your elbow braced against your ribcage. How smooth and stable is your wrist? Try it without the brace, lift it up. It's a big difference. Creating a stable platform by bracing my elbow. All your training is your stable platform to be safe, to stay alert, to stay alive, to be safe. Creating a stable platform. My new substitute instructor, he taught me more in 1 week than my original instructor. We'll call him Dick. What? His name was Richard. Then Richard had taught me it all, and when Dick came back from his week vacation going, fail, he couldn't fail me. I knew just enough to pass. But it was ugly. Have you ever had the ugly pass? Do not raise your hand if your boss is in the room. Just wink at me, I got you. Because practice makes. Really? I had lots of practice doing it wrong. How can it possibly be perfect? We need to shift our paradigm on this. Practice makes, maybe, permanent. There it is, permanent. Practice makes permanent. How we practice determines how we perform. How we practice determines how we show up, how we live in our life, how we work in our job. Everything you do today impacts your tomorrow. Because practice makes permanent. It's a shift of thinking, right? So be more intentional, be more deliberate, be more focused, because everything you do matters to help you stay alert and stay alive.